Not arrogant, but deeply assured. The voice of someone who has finally accepted what God says about them. I used to apologize for taking up space. I used to shrink myself to fit inside the boxes other people built for me. I used to question every gift I carried, every door that opened, every room that wanted me, wondering if they had the right person. But something happened when I started reading what he actually says about me. Not what the world says, not what they said, not what the disappointment suggested, but what he says. And what he says is different from everything I was taught to believe about myself. He says I am chosen, he says I am royal, he says I am set apart for something this world has never seen. He says the gifts in me were placed there on purpose, for a purpose that ordinary was never going to fulfill. I'm not ordinary, I'm favored by the King. I'm not ordinary, I carry extraordinary things. I'm not the world's definition of remarkable. I'm his, and his definition changes everything. I'm not ordinary, never was from the moment he formed me. He set me apart. I'm not ordinary, not ordinary, not ordinary, and neither are you. I've sat in rooms where I was the only one that looked like me, and I used to shrink. Now I expand. I've been told my dreams were too big for someone like me, and I used to believe it. Now I know that someone like me is exactly who those dreams were made for. I've watched doors open that had no business opening. I've received things I had no natural qualification for. I've been in rooms I had no earthly reason to be in, and every single time I knew it wasn't luck, it wasn't coincidence, it wasn't my resume, it was favor, and favor doesn't make sense. Favor doesn't follow the normal rules. Favor goes ahead of you and rearranges things before you arrive. And I stopped questioning why he chose me. I stopped waiting for the other shoe. I stopped apologizing for the grace on my life, and I started walking in what he said like I believed it, because I do, I finally do. I'm not ordinary, I'm favored by the King. I'm not ordinary, I carry extraordinary things. I'm not the world's definition of remarkable. I'm his, and his definition changes everything. I'm not ordinary, never was from the moment he formed me. He set me apart. I'm not ordinary, not ordinary, not ordinary, and neither are you. And I need you to hear.
What's up? Y'all already know who this is. It is your girl, Mrs. Kiwi, and I am with my co-host.
Miss Mink is in the house.
And today we have a great show for you all. So sit back, tune in, call in 515-599-1687. That's 515-599-1687. Miss Mink, give us that why not say mission statement.
So you know what our mission statement is. We want to make sure that we are grabbing hold real tight and snatching back our youth. We want our youth to know that their voices can be heard. But we also want them to know that it's another voice that they should listen to as well. And that's our season. So we want to build the bridge of the gap of communication between our youth and our season. And what a best way to do it with our our guest that we have on tonight. Oh my goodness. I want you all to, because she will captivate you. So
Yeah.
I really want you to sit back, call in, most definitely, if you have some questions, but listen to what it is that she has to say. You will be educated tonight. And as our topic is, I'm not ordinary. Yeah. My shine, what is it?
My shine. Oh Lord, you done just she done got me too. Now see, Miss Mink, you supposed to know what it is now. You done got me too. It says no, it is you shine. You see my shine. You don't see what it take from me.
That's right.
So
And yes, and most definitely she has some. We were just talking just a few moments ago, and she was telling a story about how it is that she doesn't mind speaking to the youth and helping correct them. And a lot of us don't do that because we're scared. But that's the reason why our youth are acting the way that they are acting, because we're scared. We need to get back to the old school, the old days. We always talk about that on Why Not Say It. So it's time. It's time. It's time.
So let's get started. We're going to let her introduce herself for those who don't know her, and for those who do. We are going to give her a chance to kind of give y'all a little snippets about herself, and then we're going to get to it.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
I want to make sure.
Yes.
All right, I am Felicia Bishop. I am a mother of, I had 3 adult grown children. One was killed in a car accident in 2008. I have 2 surviving children. I have a proud grandmother of 5. The oldest of those 5 grandchildren getting ready to turn 22 in October. And the youngest is 6.
All right. So as you all can see, we definitely have. So would you like to be called Miss Felicia? Or
Yes, Felicia is fine.
Felicia. All right. So y'all call in and talk to Felicia, because she got some good jewels for you all on tonight. We're going to have a good discussion going on tonight. Call in 515-599-1687. That's 515-599-1687. Let's get started, because I'm excited about tonight. We are definitely in the building, and we are talking about she is not ordinary. Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Yes.
So the thing about it is that, hey, we got a great discussion right now that's finna get started. So Miss Felicia.
Lisa's fine.
Lisa's fine. Okay. Well, Miss,
Shorten it up for you.
all right, yeah, because you know I be getting into it, baby. I be excited
Shorten it up.
about it. So Lisa, we want to just go on and jump right in and get started. Kind of give us a little bit about yourself. Like, you know, how did you become Lisa? Well, we know not the name, but just the person. How did you become who you are today?
A lot of bullshit.
Okay.
A lot of hurt. A lot of pain. A lot of trials and an exorbitant amount of tribulations.
All right now.
That's how I became who I am today.
Okay.
And already I'm getting emotional because I'm just thinking.
Hey, take your time.
Yes,
Let me tell you.
that's all right.
Why
We
not
cry
say
over
it?
it.
It's just what it is.
I'm telling
Why
you.
not say it? Why
Say it.
not show it? Why not feel it?
Hey.
I'm just thinking about some of the things that I have conquered. Things that could have easily taken me out, are things that could have if I wasn't a person that walked strong in faith, made me give up. There was times I wanted to. The things that saved me, of course, not only was God, but my kids. I had to think about my kids. I always thought, Lord, if I take myself now, I have to leave them in the hand of this person. And when you think of things like that, it kind of snaps you out. There was a time, especially when my oldest son died, that's like the hardest pain any parent can go through. And I'm still not healed from it. And that was in 2008. And this is 2026. And I'm not healed. I cope, but I'm not healed. And with that, I separated from God. I separated from my belief. Because I was thinking, I always thought to myself, well, if there's really a God, you know, I pray. If there's a God, I believe. You know, I believe. Why would you do this? I thought God was a God of good things, right? Nobody expects God to allow you to go through things to move you forward in the direction that He needs you to be in. I was mad because I was like, you want to work on me, so you took my son. That is not a fair exchange. That's robbery. That was my heart, right? So it took me a long time to get back to I believe. You know, and one of the things that made me get back and force myself to get to I believe is my kids were watching. My son, it wasn't just my pain. My son had to learn how to navigate through this world without his right hand.
Okay.
My daughter had to learn to navigate through this world without her big protector. You know, and so because I divorced my kids' father when they were fairly young, it was just us. Our saying was, we all we got.
We all we got.
And now part of we is dwindled, it's gone. It's just a memory. And there were many times I would take drives and scream and cry. There were many times in the shower. The shower was my favorite crying place. Because they couldn't hear me. They couldn't see the tears, you know. And I would always get out and I would save face because I'm like, if I'm telling them, I'm trying to tell them how to navigate through it, they have to see it. I have to be the first example.
Exactly.
And honestly, in a lot of ways, I regret I did that.
Okay.
I regret I did that. We have to get in a space where we let our sons as well as our daughters, whoever it is, at whatever age they are, they need to feel their pain. They need to acknowledge it.
Exactly.
Because when we take that away from them, that's how we begin sending people into the world that are unhealed.
Yes.
For various reasons. And sometimes that unhealed you is what the foundation of your future is built off of.
Yes.
Sometimes it's built off anger. It's built off sorrow. It's built off how do I navigate through this, right? And so if I could go back and redo it, I would tell them, no, scream, yell, holler, curse, whatever it is you need to do for however long you need to do it. Because even to this day, I see my kids in a space where they're just navigating through. And I think it's because they feel if they crumble, I crumble.
They got to be strong for you.
And I sent my kids the link to this podcast. And I had no idea that this would be a subject that I talked about. But apparently it's a subject that I needed to talk about.
That's right. That's right.
And I hope my kids are listening to this podcast. And if they are, I just want them to know it's okay to feel it.
Yes. And see, that's one thing that we have to get back to as well is we have to learn how to deal with our trauma. Because if we continue to hold on to our trauma, then as we grow, a lot of our decisions may be wrong decisions. Or a lot of situations that we put ourselves in, we might not have put ourselves in had we dealt with that trauma.
Exactly, because I found myself trauma bonding in several different phases of my life.
We just had a topic about that.
Several different phases. My story is probably bigger than this house that we're sitting in right now. First marriage was abusive. I left that ex-husband. Me and my kids navigated life through our own. It seems like when we were getting to an upscale battle, that's when my son died. And so then it spiraled. We faced times where we were unhoused. I try to be an honest person about things I go through. You know, I don't want anybody to think like I didn't have some sort of support from family members because I said we were through situations where we were unhoused. My thing is, if you pay my mortgage today, I'm still gonna need it next month. So
Right.
there's no need of me fighting this battle. Just let me pack, do what I need to do to regroup, so I can take care of me and my kids the
Exactly.
way I need to take care of me and my kids.
Exactly.
And so I can say, in some areas, I chose that for us. I'm not a person that likes anybody to hang anything over my head. I'm a true definition of get it out the mud.
Yeah.
And that's how I raised my kids. Get it out. Get up and do what you got to do to provide the life that you want yourself to live. And I've always preached to my kids that success does not equate to money in the bank.
All right, now, come on, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Success to me equates to you living a wholesome and well-balanced life. A life that's full of honesty and love, a life that's full of forgiveness, a life that's full of taking atonement for what you have done, for your transgressions. We've all done things that we're not proud of.
Exactly.
Lord knows I have.
Right, exactly.
But without going through those seasons of your life, you will never get to the person that you see before you when you look in the mirror today.
Exactly.
Now, the thing is, if you look in the mirror today and you don't like what you see, and you need to go back to the drawing board. Especially if you're a person that's doing the same thing, just a different year. Right? Because we have to be reminded that age does not mean maturity.
That's right. It
Exactly.
doesn't.
It
It does
definitely
not mean
doesn't.
maturity at all. It just means you're growing. You're becoming an older fool.
Right.
Exactly.
I like
That's
that,
it.
an older
Right?
That's
fool.
it.
You were a
That's
young
it.
fool, but now you're becoming an older fool.
Exactly.
When I think of trauma bonding, there were many relationships I were involved in that now me getting over on the other side and heal from so many situations and actually taking accountability for my part in things, because even when it comes to the demise of a relationship, it takes two people.
It takes two. Exactly.
It takes two. So even in my first marriage, when there was moments of abuse, I was at fault just as much as he was. And you ask, how? Because I'm letting you knock me upside my damn head.
Exactly.
And I'm staying.
Exactly.
And so, and don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to take light of domestic violence by any means, but because I do understand it takes planning and preparation. Because if you're in those type of situations and you don't have a plan, and you haven't prepared yourself, it can become fatal. I just lost a good friend of mine. I went to her funeral a couple of weeks ago, and that's what happened to her. So I advocate for women in those type of situations. I try to reach out and help women plan for those type of situations, because it's real.
Yes, you have so many women living right now that's in domestic violence. They won't even say nothing, you know.
And a lot of times it's because you're ostracized.
Yep.
You are. So, and a lot of times you feel like you have to suffer in silence for it.
Exactly.
And some women stay for various reasons. I stayed for so long because I had 3 small kids. He was military. Where was I going? Like, we basically married each other 2 years after high school.
Okay.
Right? So I'm fresh out of high school, coming from mom and dad house, no formal education, no former education, no outside of high school diploma. What am I going to do? And I wasn't, my parents didn't raise us on the state system. My dad retired from General Motors. My mom worked with the school board. And so I was used to the 2-parent household dynamic, and I fought so hard to preserve
provide
that for
that.
my kids, and I sat through things that I shouldn't have sat through. But once I got tired, I got tired. And there were moments I would call my family all the time. I'm leaving him. I'm leaving him. I'm leaving him. And it was the boy who cried wolf. And one time, I never forget, I visited St. Louis, and we were at Denny's. It was a Denny's on Chambers and 367 back then. And my dad and my sisters, we were there. And we were eating, and I just looked up and said, I'm leaving Joe, and I'm sorry for saying this name, Lord. Well, I'm leaving this person, and I don't need you all to say anything. I just need help with my kids when I get here. And because I didn't want to involve them any further.
Right.
Because they
exactly.
wasted time, energy, and money coming for me when I was like, "No, that's okay. We okay now."
Mm-hmm.
And I had already had my plan.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I looked at my nephew and I said, "I need you to go with me."
Yeah.
He was coming down on orders, and I packed,
Mm-hmm.
and I came back, and I never looked back.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was a part of my healing. It healed me from that part of that at that time. But I started feeling like in some parts of my life, it was a soap opera. Because it was one thing after another, one hit after another. And then my son, then it was my brother died in a car crash. And the ironic thing is I remember my son, at 16, I was eager for my kids always to get their driver's license. And I remember I was laying in the bed one day and my oldest son came in and he said, "Mom, please wake up, please wake up." And I'm like, "What's going on?" And he said, "Do you know why I'm not really in a hurry to get my license?" And I said, "Why?" And he said, "I had a dream I'm going to die like my Uncle Gardette."
Oh, wow.
And my son died in a car crash, just
Oh,
like my brother.
wow. Mm.
And then it was my dad, who was my very, very, very best friend. I watched him die of cancer, you know. So as life progressed, you know, I just became numb, honestly.
And you do.
I became
You
numb.
do.
A lot of my friends now even say I'm cold to certain things. I'm like, I'm not cold to it. The things I've been through has pushed me to reality, whether I want to face it or not.
Exactly.
So for things that I cannot control, I don't give it energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
can't.
Exactly.
Because it will take me to a downhill spiral.
Exactly.
And I don't like a state of depression.
Mm-hmm. What people got to understand also is that everybody handles things differently. And the way you may handle it may not be the way or works for me. And, you know, that's okay. So, you know, people got to understand that, you know, you may see me or you may hear me or you may even look at me and be like, "Oh yeah, you're not, you know,
You got it, everything good.
yeah, you strong. You got this, you know, nothing." But people don't understand that sometimes inside is where it's all just falling apart. And because I didn't share that with you don't mean that I am okay.
And
you know, and
that's
it's okay
great, yep.
for people to know, like, I'm really not okay. This strong person that you see all the time, I get weak sometimes.
I actually
you know?
had to stop friends, and I try to remind family when they say, "Lisa, you the strong." I say, "I'm not strong. Stop saying that."
Right.
Because that puts me in a space to be what you need for you. I'm human.
Right.
I'm human. Just say I'm handling it well.
Exactly.
Don't tell me I don't want to be strong for you, and
Exactly.
you. Because damn it, I don't even have any strength for me half of the day.
Yourself.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I had a good friend tell me one time, she said, "If I wasn't your friend and able to witness everything you're going through, I would think you were lying about the things you have gone through." She said, "But thank God you don't look like what you've been through."
Oh, come on now.
Yes.
And I can attest to that. I can. I'm proud of that. Like, I trauma bonded with so many men, and I try to tell these young, don't use your body to get over anything.
I'm telling
That
you.
is the worst thing in the world
To
any
do.
woman can do. And I got married for the second time. Trauma bond. I didn't realize it was a trauma bond until I was deciding to end the marriage.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, when I just kept saying, you know, I was trying to make the pieces of the puzzle fit together. Again, me and my kids, like glue, right? My daughter had made up her mind when she left for college. St. Louis is not where she wanted to be. It holds too much for her. So she moved. She continued her career, you know, where she graduated college. My son, things were, he wasn't adapting well to being without his brother. But God sent us some great other. I have 3 sons that I love dearly that are
All
not
right, now,
mine, but
shout
they are
out to them.
mine.
Right.
And that is Jarvis Bass, that is Arville Farr,
All
and
right
that
now.
Arville Fair, and that is Kevo.
Okay.
Those are my sons.
Yes.
I can call them right now and they'll show up.
All right now.
And I love them, and they gave, God allowed them to be
His big
the
What he
substitutes
needed.
for my daughter and my son.
Son.
But it came to a point, my son decided, Mom, in order for me to grow and become a better man, I gotta leave. Lord, y'all.
I know. I can imagine.
Both of them.
I can
know.
only imagine because I don't have a son, but I can only
Baby,
imagine.
wait a minute. You doing what?
I know it.
Why? I got this house. You can do whatever. It's me and you. Let's
Right.
rock out, right? And I remember going to my therapist, and I was talking to her about it. And I said, this not sitting well. I was trying to make up every excuse why my son should move to Georgia.
Oh, Lord.
It costs too much. You don't know anybody. I mean, everything. And then after talking to my therapist and I was riding, I was like, you know what? You cannot stifle that man growth. Because you're going to be responsible for the man he becomes.
Yes, yes.
Now, has he made tons of mistakes growing up? Yeah, but this man is telling you he wants to become better. Who are you to tell this man, I don't want you to be better. I just want you to be for mama.
Right.
Right? So I had to put on my big girl drawers.
Yes.
And I called him. He was downstairs one day, and I remember I called him to upstairs. I said, come here. And he said, what's up, mama? You know, we talked to each other real relaxed. And tears came down my eyes. I say, this is how I had to do it to make myself feel better. I said, I would give you 30 days to move out my house, so I'm going to put you out. That was me. I had to control the situation. I had to flip the switch so I could be okay.
So you could be okay.
And I think he knew where I was coming from because he had already got approved for the apartment. I already had a job transfer. He was set. He was leaving without my blessing. But I just had to feel like I had
That
to
control.
do that so I can be okay. Shortly after, jumped into a relationship, trauma bond after that, because I had never lived alone in my adult life. That was scary. That was foreign. And so after that, I played around a lot. I played around a lot in a lot of situations I shouldn't have been in. You know, I'm not perfect. Did I date married men? Absolutely did. And it's not something that I'm proud of, but that was just the season I was in that I grown out of, right? And then when I met a guy, you know, I just kind of like, hey, let's do this, right? We wind up getting married. We went on one date, actually.
Okay.
True story, one date. Good guy. He's not a bad guy. I just divorced him. He's just not for me. Moved into my house. We were married. We stayed married 9 years before I filed for a divorce. I really, really wanted to work because he was a good man. He's a nice guy. But I have a different outlook on the order of marriage. And in that order of marriage, I really realized for me, it can be no other way unless it's God first.
Exactly.
Your spouse, your children, and then everybody else after. There is nobody on this earth that is going to ever, because I'm going to get married again. I don't know when, but I will.
All right,
God got me
That's right.
as a
That's
husband
right.
because I am a wife.
Yes.
I'm not a girlfriend.
Yes.
And there is a big difference.
Yes.
There is a big difference.
And my thing is, no one ever takes precedence over my spouse other than God.
Exactly.
God give us our children to put them out into the world.
That's right.
Not a baby father, not a baby mama. You're not going to supersede my spouse.
Right.
Because when it's all said and done, this is who I have to roll over with.
Yes.
And this who I have to pray with at night. And so that's what kind of shifted that. I start realizing that just saying I was married wasn't enough.
Right. It's not.
I needed to feel the marriage.
Right.
I needed you to be present in the marriage, right?
That's right.
I didn't want one person carry the load in the marriage. And so I got out of that and I stepped away from everything that I had and I rebuilt it while I was planning. I had already rebuilt, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So I sold a house. Before I sold the house, I had acquired another house.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And I just wanted a fresh start. I wanted a fresh start. Same city, but fresh start. And I have never known peace
Like you do.
like I know now.
All
right.
I'm able to sit and talk to God more uninterrupted. I'm able to sit with myself more. I'm able to carry out my thoughts. And it seems like sometimes I didn't realize that sometimes things you want to hold on to out of a level of comfortability for yourself are the very things that are hindering you from growing.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And once I relinquished myself from that marriage, everything just started
falling in place.
For me. And sometimes, you know, what people say you shouldn't do is actually God's prevention for you. And so a lot of things that I had put on a back burner because I was more worried about nourishing my marriage, being the good wife, making sure the food's done when he gets home, and you know, things of that nature, that it took away from me. I had lost all of me. I didn't know who I was. I knew I was a mother and I had been a wife, but I had forgot about who Lisa really is, right? And I had to start tapping into that. And I'm happy to say that I've done a lot. You know, I've gotten several different I'm big on community. So I'm into economic development. I'm into neighborhood preservation. I do that throughout a lot of different areas that welcome me. I don't put in time where I'm not welcome. It doesn't matter who it is and where it is. I'm into community as far as advocating for women of abuse.
Okay.
I like working with children of all ages, young men. And it seems like I have a real deep connection with younger boys. Younger girls, not so much. You know, these girls say, but the guys, I really tell them because I use my son as an example.
Exactly.
You know,
Yes.
and so they kind of gravitate to it more in that aspect. Women, mostly when I talk to them, because I'm the kind I can be in a street and I can see you and feel in my spirit you're having a bad day, and I'll just start talking to you and I'll just tell you my
Story.
my testimony. And I never forget, I was in the mall in the lady store bawling because I walked up to her and I hugged her, and I was just talking to her. She's like, "How would you know?" I'm like, I just felt it, you know. And she started telling, we started sharing each other's stories. She looked at me and said, "I should be hugging you." You know, I said, "No, I'm what you needed right now. I don't need the hug right now. You do, so it's okay." But it's I'm very much at peace. Like I said, I have really thrown myself into community. I ran in a municipal election this April and I did win. So,
All right, congratulations.
yeah, so
Congratulations.
I am an alderwoman of the Fountain now. And I am writing a book. I've been working on my book for 2 years.
Okay.
And
I got
that's
a question
difficult.
for you before you go. There's two things that you've said, and this last thing about your book. But can you elaborate more on the fact of having a therapist or a counselor or
Sure.
whatever? Because, you know, in the Black community,
It's taboo.
Oh, yes,
It's
it
taboo.
is. People will
You go
not.
to therapy when you're crazy.
Yes,
That's what we think.
yes.
I have been in therapy since 2008, and it's 2026.
All right now.
Now, when I say I've been in therapy since 2008, this does not mean I go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I've been going every day, you know, every week for those many years. When I first latched on to my therapist, one important thing she told me: it's always okay for a tune-up. Just like a car. You get the
all right
running.
now.
I like
It's
that.
always
Yeah.
all right now.
You get to running a little ragged. You need a tune-up. So I tap in with my therapist as much as I need to, as long as I can pay the bill.
Exactly.
Because I don't feel there's anything wrong with it. Because I realized through therapy, I'm not equipped to handle everything, nor
Exactly.
should I feel like I have to. And I realized through so many different missteps that you have to be very cautious with who you're talking to,
You do.
because there are some people are listening and some people are hearing, right? The people that are hearing you are not paying very close attention. They just want to click little snippets and run with it.
Exactly.
The people that are really, really focused in on understanding what you're saying, and they're really, really listening, they're caring. They're going to give you directive. They're going to give you sound advice, right? And so it's ironic because my daughter's a therapist now.
Okay.
And so sometimes I have conversations with her, and I say, "Look, I need the therapist right now, not my daughter."
Not the daughter.
You know, and I try to be cautious of how many times I need her as the therapist, because I know how heavy her job is. Therapists need therapists. What people don't understand, they tap in with therapy, often. But I think nobody should be afraid of therapy. It's a sacred space, and if you're not a fan of therapy, journal.
Exactly.
I do it often. I don't walk around with a notebook, but we all keep our phones with us. I go to my Samsung Notes and I just type in my feelings, my thoughts. And in doing that, I have seen myself, and family has seen me evolve into a calmer me. I was a ticking time bomb because I housed so much anger, disappointment, hurt, and resentment. And when you have a person walking around with all that built in,
Oh yeah, at any moment you're gonna expose.
and a lot of people used to get it, and I didn't feel bad about it because I was just popping off, you know. But again, the older you get, you are supposed to evolve, and I thank God that I'm not that person, because at 58, who wants to walk around angry?
Right, exactly.
I'm supposed to really be sitting in and enjoying life, right?
Yes.
And that's the season I'm in. I'm just doing me, and I can say now when I smile, it's genuine.
Yeah.
It used to be forced, but now it's a genuine smile. When I tell people I'm happy, and I told my kids this, I said, "Hey, I just want y'all to know, if I die today or tomorrow, y'all can say y'all mama was happy, cause I am. Yeah. I'm at peace. I'm happy. I'm liking the direction that my life is moving in. Although I said I'm gonna be a wife, I am not into dating right now, because I think it will take my focus away from the things I'm trying to accomplish for myself. Because so far, everything I put in my journal that I wanted to complete, I have completed either before or on the deadline that I set for myself.
All right now, and that's a good thing. That's actually a good thing, to set goals and set deadlines and reach those goals, because life, we know, is so busy. It's already so busy, and then before you look up, the day is gone. Now you pushing it to another day. Yeah. And I always say, why put off what you could do today to tomorrow? Because we're not promised tomorrow.
Absolutely.
So in today, let me take care of today, and then tomorrow, if the good Lord bless me to see it, then I'll wake up and start my day all over again.
And one other important fact. Anybody that's out there listening, never lose yourself to the relationship. Never lose yourself to the marriage. You have to understand, you both are individuals. You just decided to allow your two worlds to join.
Exactly.
But it's okay to say, baby, I need some me time. It's okay to go hang out with the girls or the guys, or do the gym thing. Or for me, I just like to sit on my sun porch sometime by myself. And I have two very, very dear friends. One I call my brother. His name is Brian. And a lady named Tina. And we just hang out in each other's garages or at each other's house. And we drink our wine and we just chill and have a really good time. Yeah. And a lot of times we ain't talking about nothing. We just scrolling on our phones, but we're in each other's presence. We're our safe spaces. And a lot of times you need to do that. And I'm not going to step in anything where anybody feels threatened by those friendships because those people have held me down through
Exactly.
dark times.
Exactly.
And so that's where I'm at with that. Don't lose yourself.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Yeah, go ahead, Miss
I was
Mick.
just going to say, that's a good point and message to say, because I think, when we were talking and kind of like going over inviting you to the show, that was something that I shared with you. I'm at that point of trying to find myself. And I've always been the person that thought I had it all together. But when you start going through things, you find out a lot about yourself. You really do find out a lot about yourself. I've always been that person that have, like you had said earlier, been strong. Thought that I was just so strong. Not that I wasn't unbreakable,
Right.
but that I was so strong. And then because I do have faith in God, that not that I'm untouchable, but that, he's not going to let things happen to me. But you said something that was key earlier. And I know I've learned this for myself. Oh, he's going to let a lot of things
Happen.
touch you.
Yes.
For the simple fact and reason being, there is a lot of things that you have to learn.
It's a lesson.
Yes.
It's a lesson.
It
If you attempt anything and you keep failing at it,
Yes.
that means you're not following direction.
following.
You're not getting the lesson.
You're not getting it. So you have to step back and you have to tone in, to God, Allah, whoever it
Whatever
is,
it is.
you have to tune in to the higher power and be still and listen. Sometimes it takes to be still, and that's what I love about this season of my life. I have been allowed to be still. I have been allowed to be still, and that is the greatest feeling in
Ever.
the world.
I'm telling you.
It is.
Yes, because and like I was telling you, I have a lot of things that I haven't expressed or talked about, but it's coming, and God is building me. He's grooming me so that when it is that I do talk about it and I express it, then it won't be that I'm trying to sugarcoat it or
But you know
cover
what?
it up or whatever the case may
To
be.
that, I'll say to you, I'll encourage you by saying this. Don't ever be afraid to talk about what you live through. Because that's why you're still standing. And what you think is embarrassing, it helps somebody else come out on the other side. I tell people, ask me anything that you want to know. Did I have bad credit at one time? Absolutely.
Okay.
Did I file bankruptcy? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Did I struggle?
Absolutely.
But am I that person now? Absolutely not.
Exactly.
And so I don't care. I remind people, people that say, oh, I know you don't. You know who I used to be. Because I don't even grace you with my presence right now for you to know who I am now.
Exactly.
So I don't allow people to take me back there. But I will remind them, if you take me there, I'm going to sit there with you. And it ain't going to be nice.
It ain't gonna be nice, exactly, and that's what
because you
have
done fought
to do.
too hard.
So
Yeah.
to be
get-
where I am, so leave me alone, because if you know me from then, you know how toxic I can be for you.
Exactly.
So let's not go there. Let
Exactly.
me sit right here in this 58-year-old grown woman that want her peace, because I fought for it.
But a lot of people want to keep you where you used to be because it's more comfortable for them. And the thing about it is that people have to understand we all grow and mature and on a daily basis.
Some of us, and
Some
we
of
hope.
us do,
We
but-
hope people
Yes,
do.
you're right.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
In God's eyes, that's the goal. That's what
Absolutely.
we're supposed to
Absolutely.
do. But a lot of people be so comfortable in what we used to do to where they never can get to the point of where we are now. So they still stuck. And I say to that, it's okay. Sometimes you have to leave those people where they at.
Absolutely.
And in order to get what you have to get.
And
at
sometimes that
point.
includes friends.
Exactly.
Lifelong
friends,
friends.
family.
I've had to do that.
Yeah.
I kept some friendships just because I felt obligated.
And
Because
that's the worst thing.
I've known you for 15 years.
Yeah.
You've been my bestie for 15 years, or you've been my bestie for 20 years. And I realized that, and it's easy to realize because you can base it off the conversations you're having.
Come on now.
Hey, what you doing? Nothing.
And silent, there's the crickets.
Okay, I'll call you back.
Right.
Because I'm not saying I don't value those people.
Exactly.
But where I'm at now, I'm trying to surround myself with people that feed me, that water me, and I water them. I'm trying to be around people that inspire me, that know where I'm going, and feed it,
And happy for
talk
you.
talk prosperity over my life.
Right, exactly.
And if I'm talking numbers or if I'm talking community, I can't talk. That doesn't mean you're not my friend, but I can't talk to you about that conversation because this is not even your lane.
Right.
So I have had to learn it's okay to compartmentalize my friendships. I have friends that I make the Walmart weekend runs with. They're still my friends. I have work friends. They're my work friends. I have my homies. They come to
Everybody
my
has a
house. They,
position.
you know, and it's okay. I don't love you any less. But and real friendships learn that you grow like that. You can grow apart but still have that bond.
Yep.
And that's what I learned. I talked to a dear friend of mine that was my best friend since kindergarten. And she and I had a real in-depth conversation. We just got back in touch with each other after 20-something years. And I've missed her dearly. And she said she missed me. But we both talked. We were mature enough now to talk about why we stopped speaking. I was mad at her because she had got married. But she was holding on, and she was mad at me for getting married when I got married. And now she lives in Arizona. Like, I'll be in Arizona. You know what I'm saying? And when we connect, it's just like we never left one another. And that's family.
Right, exactly.
That's not a friend. That's true family.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And so I value her. I still value her input.
Right.
You know, she's like a sister to me. And even speaking on that, I'm a kind of person, I don't let my kids subscribe to family's all you got.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes family's your worst enemy.
Enemy.
Yes,
Ooh, yes,
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 and
yes.
that's so true.
And you experience something
I've experienced
different
that.
outside of family
I've
sometimes.
experienced that. Like, my family trauma runs deep.
Uh-huh.
I'm talking deep.
Yeah.
And that's a topic for another show.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's crazy. It's wicked. My
It
family
is.
trauma, and I don't get mad at my kids when they say, "Well, I don't want to affiliate myself with this person." That's you. Do that, because once I start going through and I detach myself from family is all you got, I start sitting back and seeing it for what it was worth, and I'm like,
Yes.
"You right for not dealing with that
I'm
person
telling
and
you.
that person, because I don't
Yes.
want to deal
That's
with
right.
that."
Absolutely.
You know, and so that's another thing, Black people, we got to get away from.
Yeah.
We do. Holding on to family is all you got. All right, this your mama. No, if she brings you trauma, separate. This your daddy. It don't matter. If that's a hard spot for you, separate. You
Right.
have to. Your
have to.
responsibility is to save yourself.
Because when it's time to be judged, you're not going to be judged because that's your father or your mother or your sister or your brother or whoever the case may be. You're going to be judged on your own actions,
Exactly.
accountability,
And
so
I like
on.
to say, if my way of respecting you as a family member is to stay away from you so I don't disrespect you,
That's right.
I am respecting you.
That's right.
I am living up to what God wants. He don't want me to disrespect you, so I'm going to stay away. And that comes to, I don't care, mother, father, sister, brother,
Yeah,
whoever.
yeah.
If one of my kids ever got to the point to where we couldn't treat each other respectfully and as adults, I know how to block and delete.
That's
And
right.
I
that's
wouldn't
just-
feel bad.
Yeah. We have to learn that everybody is not for us.
No.
And we all go through different seasons in our life. And in those seasons, you know, we have to learn those reasons, seasons, and those lifetimes. And we also have to know that our journey is not meant for everybody.
That's right.
So at this point of my journey, like you said, it's not that I love you any less. It's just that my journey finna take me on a different path. And you still my friend, or you still whoever you are to me. That does not change unless and you change that.
Right.
But right now, my journey is taking me here. And you might not even be happy for me. And that's
It's okay. Absolutely.
But guess what? I still got to go on my journey to see what it is.
Why
that-
you talking about that? What about the friends that go, I don't understand why you want to do that.
What is it?
it's not your
For you
place
to
to understand. But that's a
Exactly.
little bit tad of hating.
It is.
That's a little bit
It is.
envious.
It is.
You know, I don't get that. And I've had several friends that I still call my friends because they're my friends. They just don't know any better.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
Because although you're my dear friends or they're my friends, they may not aspire to do a lot of the things that I do. I'm the kind of person, if I wake up in the middle of the night and I have a thought, I'm going to make a plan to execute it. I'm going to get it done, and I don't make myself sit in it. There was a time I wanted a boutique so bad. I found a building. My husband and I, we put in a lot of money into that building. We renovated it. The landlord loved everything we did. I opened my boutique and I closed it.
But you did it.
I did. I stayed online for like a year. Then I did the boutique. You know, my ex-husband, he got sick, so I did start taking care of him. But I closed it, and people to this day that know that and shop with me, or you can open back up. I'll be like, no. And they be like, why? You was doing good. You used to have good stuff. And I used to be like, I'm not fazed by that anymore.
Right.
I think set your goals, attempt to do anything your heart aspires, and don't stamp it. Don't say if I do this, I have to keep it going. No,
Right.
you don't.
No.
Sometimes your position in it is just to get it done, to orchestrate it and be done with it. And that's okay, because those may be the stepping stones you need to build your self-esteem.
Exactly.
To know that you are able and you're worthy to do things.
Exactly.
And that's what it was for me.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's
Yeah.
how you have to look at
Yeah.
it, because, hey, we're going to touch a lot of things.
Yep.
You know, but was that meant for me to stay right there?
No.
Maybe not, you know?
And that's
Maybe
one
not.
thing that I do. I like about me is that I'm adventurous. I'm not gonna let just I may not. It may not be successful. It may not go where it
But
is
it
that I
is.
wanted to go.
It is successful.
And
As
you
long as you
said
got
that
the
the other
plan,
night,
as
too.
long as you took the plan from your mind
And
to the
executed
paper
it.
in real life, it was a success. See, we have to stop saying it's
I was just-
successful because it was 5 years, it was 10 years. No, it was a success even if it was a day. If you plan an event, it was a success even if one person showed up. Because that's one person you reach doing whatever it is you're doing. So
yeah.
don't ever say it wasn't a success. It was, because you carried it all the way through.
That's why
Yes.
you have to not judge success on numbers or
Yeah.
length.
Yep.
Because when you do that, you're setting yourself up for failure.
Absolutely.
You know, like you said, success is not just because you done held something down for 5-10 years or whatever. Success, like you said, comes from the brain first, on paper next, and then when you executed it.
Absolutely.
And then, you know, a lot of times that might not even been what God had for you to do.
That was just your thought.
something for that was your decision that you made. And
Yeah.
even if God did have a plan, it still could have been just for that day, so that you can get something out of that, or something you learn to do, or even to use when you go to your next level of whatever it is that you're going through.
Even to that point you just said, God may not wanted you to do. You want me to tell you what else I want people to get away from? Every decision we make, God wanted me. God told me. You ain't even sat still long enough
Look,
to
to
hear
hear
from
what
God.
do you hear
You
me?
have not even prayed long enough to hear from God.
yes,
No, that's your thought process that made you do that. Own it. Just own it, because anything from God,
It's going to be successful.
it's not going to be difficult
Not at all.
to get it off the ground. Doors aren't going to constantly close. If it's from God, the door gonna open with ease. With ease, and you're gonna be like, I know I shouldn't have been able to, and it's gonna happen. But people say that all the time.
Oh, they do.
Because I did it bad, like when I trauma bonded in
God
my second
said
marriage.
this. God said
Listen,
that.
y'all, because I was having such a good time with my husband. I said, oh, I know God sent him to me. Girl, when I was filing for that, baby, God ain't had no
Quit
part,
blaming that stuff on God.
baby. Because if this was from God, he would have known what order to put you in. He would have known you were the priority, right?
Right.
This was not from God, baby. This was you.
Right,
Hoping
all
it was,
you.
you know,
Be
because
accountable for
yeah,
that.
so I
Yes.
was like, girl, stop. I had to tell myself that, girl, if you don't stop lying on God.
That's right.
And
Quit
that's
putting that on
hey, we do that. Like
We do. We
God,
really do.
God told me to say this, or God told me this, and God said He was sending me. God don't talk to you like that.
God told me.
Because for one, you don't even talk to God like that.
God told me to go. God told me to go get this. But you don't know how you gonna pay for it. Girl, God ain't finna help you on that one, because that was a foolish mistake on your part.
Exactly.
And then this another thing. People pray about something, and before they even sit still to even hear from God to answer it,
They already doing it.
Yes, God told me to go ahead.
I'm gonna
and
sit
then
back
it
and
flopped.
I'm gonna sit back and just believe in God. Okay. And that eviction notice still be on your door, right? Yeah. God gave you sense to go and try to do what you got to do to get some money. You don't eat, you don't work, you don't eat.
Exactly.
That's right. And,
That's true.
and I always will say, though, that I'm going to pray first and ask God to guide me and lead me. And if it is that I don't hear from him, I already know that I'm not getting ready to go through that door.
Yeah,
because
it's okay to sit.
Yeah, it is. And it really is.
I'm gonna tell you something too that a lot of people don't use, that intuition that God gave them. You know, sometimes that, oh yeah, I'm finna do this, but if you have to second guess yourself,
You get the signs.
you already.
We just don't like them.
You right. That's
Exactly.
right.
I got my eye on this car. Well, first they said I didn't need no money down, but then now they saying I need $5,000 down. But now they're asking me for $7,000 down. Girl, get away from that. God ain't told you nothing.
Okay.
Look, the devil was once an angel.
Yes, he was.
He sure
And
was.
he will talk to you as well.
Yes, he will. Yes, he
So
will.
you have to get close enough to God to be able to decipher the two.
That's why you have to pray and ask God for discernment and wisdom.
And if you
not
don't-
just pray for discernment and wisdom, but you need to pray and ask God how to use that.
And don't be afraid to keep moving while you're praying. Because if God feels like he needs to put his hands on it because that's the direction he wants you in, as you're moving, things will start falling in place.
Yes.
If things continue to crumble while you're moving in that right direction and
You
you're
need
saying
to go
you're
back
praying
the
to
other
God,
way.
he's telling you no, make a U-turn.
Right. You need to go back the
Just
other
go
way.
back, go back to the start,
Yes.
and we're gonna do it
Do
this
it
all over again.
Yes.
But
yes,
because
yes,
I told you to turn left and you went the other way anyway.
sure
That's
went the
right.
other
So
way.
we have to be okay with that.
Yes, we do. And you know, just like you had said, because I'll never forget just things that I'm just blessed with. And it's not just material things, but it's common sense. It's common sense. And I say that to say, because you had mentioned in reference to like a car. And every car that I had purchased before I got my Camaro, and before it was that I had a little car. But see, I wanted these certain kind of cars or trucks. And as time went on, those things I had two trucks. No, one truck that was repossessed. And then the other one, I was in an accident. I wasn't hurt, but it was damaged, to where it wasn't repairable. But I wasn't even going to get my Camaro. I was just going looking. And I was just looking. But I had wanted a new car. I really did. And I knew, though, at the time, I didn't go for the new car because I didn't feel that I could afford it.
Right.
So when I walked into the dealership, and this was when I got my Camaro, and the man, he kept, trying to force me. And I told him, I said, I'm not here for that. I just want to look at, because I like Camaros. I like cars. So I just want to look at it. And, he said, no, but we got this. I said, that's what all salespeople say. I'm not here to look for a car. So I kept, looking around, and then this other gentleman, he approached me, and he sat me down, and I started talking to him. I gave him the opportunity to say it, and I told him, I said, if you can't come with the price that I can pay for a car note, I don't want any money that I have to put down. And if I'm going to walk away with it, I'm going to walk away with it tonight. Not that I'm going to have to come back and make this deal and all this stuff. And he says, well, why don't you just go for it and, see? And I said, well, if I go for it, I want you to come back with just what it is that I said. I didn't have to put a dime down. My car note was within range. I had 2 cars that had been repossessed before. I paid off my Camaro. I did not have to worry about any payments going behind or anything of that nature. So there are times when it is that things are meant for you, and a lot of people don't understand that when it's meant for you, it's going to happen.
It's
and
gonna
you're not
line.
going to have
It's
to
gonna
worry
line up.
about.
Girl, because I made a whole lot of bad decisions thinking back in it's God said, do.
Yeah.
Let me see, I had a Ford Explorer repossessed.
Me too. No, mine was a Chevy.
I think I went through 2 repossessions. It was so funny because I just take stuff in stride, and this was years and years ago. But I remember I was late. General Motors, we had went through this layoff, and I was fairly new at the time there, and the repo man, and I was the kind I would tell my kids, you know, because I was fresh out of divorce, and we trying to finagle our way through this, and my kids would go, I'd be like, look, y'all. If y'all come home and the electric off, don't worry, it'll be back on because I'm gonna write a check because I get paid and they'll catch it, right? So I was playing those games, and then so I remember the repossession man. They were looking for my car, and I told my son, I said, "Hey, let's go in the garage and clean out the car." And so we cleaned out the car because I seen the tow truck circling the block, and so I'm like, they looking for the car,
Right?
And I'll never forget my son saying, "You for real?" I was like, they looking for the car. I ain't paid the car. No, I can't afford it, right?
Right.
And so when the repo guy came to get the car, it was all cleaned out. I had taken my plates off of it and stuff like that. And when I seen him he stopped at the corner. I flagged him down. Hey, this is it. Come on, we ain't gonna do that. Come on, man, just come get it. You know? And so he pulled up and he looking, and I said, "Hey, how you doing?" And he said, "Fine." I said, "This the car you looking for, right?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh, you can get it." I said, "I just cleaned it out and everything is washed."
He probably was so.
Girl, the man looked at me and he was going, "This the first time anybody has been this nice for a repossession." I said, "Sir, it is not your fault. I can't afford this car." No, I said, "I knew I couldn't afford it when I bought it."
Okay.
I said, "But at the time, I needed transportation to get to the job I was getting." And then, you know, so when they took the car, I had already saved up like $700, and this lady had sold me this van that lasted about a year. It was a good van.
Okay.
But it's okay.
Right.
But now I can laugh at that. You know, but even when I was going through it, I wasn't shamed.
Right.
It is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what we have to get. We got to get past. I always, you know, hey, if you made that decision, then you have to own up to it.
Yeah.
That's right.
Be accountable for
That's
it.
right.
We all make bad decisions. People walk around here acting like, "Oh, my don't stink." You feel what I'm saying? Yours stink just like everybody else.
And honey,
right.
half of the people walking around looking like they got it don't got it.
Don't have it.
Okay.
Don't have it.
So,
They are
yeah.
living strictly in fake it till you make it syndrome.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they're doing.
Yes, it is. But you know, I just want to say thank you, Miss Lisa, for coming on to Why Not Say It. Excuse me. We definitely appreciate you. We will definitely have you back because, like you said, you got a lot of things that you don't mind sharing, and that's what Why Not Say It is all about. And that's why we look for people that don't mind coming onto the platform, sharing their story, because we pray that there was a gang of people listening to this episode that something we said could help them. You know, we got to get out of thinking like, "Oh, I ain't telling nobody my business because everybody going." Yeah, for one, you go on that Facebook and all them social media and you put your business out there anyway. So why not put something that's going to be helpful to somebody else out there? And at least you can say, "I helped somebody."
Absolutely.
Because guess what? Somebody helped you, whether or not you want to say that they did or they didn't. So
Absolutely.
we definitely appreciate you. And, you know, this is the time where we always come to, because it always get good when it's time to go.
Right.
But we definitely will invite you back to
Part
the show.
Part two.
Yes. Part 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Right,
you know?
because like I said, you really have helped me. You know, a lot of women don't help other women. They so busy trying to talk down to them or, you know, tear them down or talk bad about them. When yes, competition. When it is that we all are going through something and we all have struggles, trials, tribulations, that if we would just lock arms and help one another, share things with
Yeah.
one another instead of tearing each other down. It would be so much better because
We all are one disaster
yes, we
away
are. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
from something trash. We
Yes.
are just one
Yes.
incident away from something that could tear us completely
Yes,
apart.
Lord. Yes,
Yes.
indeed.
Everybody.
Yes.
Everybody.
So for those that haven't been through, you blessed, but don't think you won't
Go
Go
through.
through. Exactly.
Yes. That's right.
And when you go through, you're gonna need somebody.
Somebody.
So, hey, be that helpers one to another. If you see somebody down, don't kick them.
That's right.
Hey, just a smile might help them
If
out.
you can't inspire them, leave them alone.
Leave them
Exactly.
alone. Leave them alone.
So my thing of it is that, hey, be a helpers one to another.
Yes.
Open your hand up. Stop just being a taker, and start giving. And
That's
watch
right.
how you be blessed.
That's
you know?
right. Absolutely.
So, Miss Lisa, you have any last remarks? And like we said, we definitely will have you back
We
on
are.
the show. We're
Yes,
going to have
we
a
will.
part 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
That's right.
However many points you want to make it.
I just want to say, when I come back, we have a whole lot of topics we can touch on.
All right now.
Because, like I said, I've been through a lot, and it's just different areas. City government, that's a whole fiasco.
I know. Yes.
Marriage, single
Yes.
parenthood, financial struggles,
Yes.
credit battles.
Yes.
Just a lot. A lot of tragedies. A lot of I'm a victim of sexual assault. So I'm open to sharing my story in any way that will help anybody.
Yes.
And that's why, hey, you can come back as many times as you want to. We
Yeah.
don't have no limit because like I say, and especially when it is that you can be in the presence of women that you can collaborate on. I am a people person, and I put no judgment. I don't have the right to judge
none of us do.
nobody.
None of us
Nobody
So
does.
no, we don't, but a lot of people do.
Yes, they
and
do.
so I encourage and invite whoever it is that I can have a conversation with, not
Exactly.
somebody that I have to worry about. Well,
We finna get into an
yeah,
argument
yeah.
where you want to fight. Because your opinion ain't...
Or after the
match-
conversation, they judging me.
Yeah,
Right,
you know,
exactly.
and that's
You
not
know,
what-
no,
that's
I
not
don't
why
need
not
that.
say it.
That's I stay away from that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, and I normally can feel people's aura too. You know, when it is, and I'm either gonna be comfortable and open up to you, or I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna listen to you because I don't feel that comfort level. So we most definitely will have you back
Yeah.
because, as I told you last night, even a few things that you said last night just touched me and helped kind of, yes, that's that confirmation.
And that's what it's all about.
And then today, you said some things that's the confirmation. So, yes.
That's what it's all about. But we would like to just present you with this Why Not Say It t-shirt.
Oh, thank you.
Just showing our appreciation.
I'm going to wear my T-shirt on the next show, y'all.
That's
All right,
right.
now, just
That's right.
appreciation
That's
for
right.
you coming in, because you could have been anywhere, but you
Right.
took time out to come on Why Not Say It. And hey, for anybody that was listening, I pray that you got something out of it. If you are going through anything we have talked about, hey, we are helpers one to another. Call into the show. Even if you don't want to say your name, call in. Let's talk about it. Maybe we can all come up with a solution to the problem, because just talking to be talking, that's not gonna solve no problem. So we thank you all. We until the next time, we appreciate you all tuning in. We didn't get any callers, but that's okay. Maybe you were just listening, and that's okay. But hopefully next time you will get into the show and call in and maybe share your story. Once again, we would like to thank Lisa for coming on to the show.
Yes.
And till the next time, we are out of here.
Yes.
So we will be playing the music again.
Yes, I'm trying to get to it.
That's okay. Miss Mink, she always slow. She definitely slow. But once again, we love
Don't
you
be
all.
telling people she wrote the short book.
Right, that's right. Tell her again.
Once again,
Tell
we
her
want to
again.
say
There
thank
you
you
go,
to
telling
everybody.
people business. See, that's what I'm saying. That's that secret hate right there.
Y'all know it. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
From the moment he set me apart, I'm not ordinary, not ordinary. in rooms where I was the only one that looked like me, and I used to shrink. Now I expand. I've been told my dreams were too big for someone like me, and I used to believe it. Now I know that someone like me is exactly who those dreams were made for. I've watched doors open that had no business opening. I've received things I had no natural qualification for. I've been in rooms I had no earthly reason to be in, and every single time I knew it wasn't